You saw me earlier, too. I'm Aaron. Oh, that was really effective. I didn't expect that. Hey, I'm Aaron. I still work at the same company from this morning. But today, I want to talk about MTBF and MTTR, specifically as it applies to people and our relationships. Before we get too far into it, I only have 5 minutes, so there are some definitions and assumptions we have to make. This is literally what those letters mean. I have also said fallout and relationship to apply it to people. And as we've discussed a couple times, we want to optimize for repair and resiliency over avoiding failure. Rewatch Heidi's talk if you don't believe me. Complex systems, so they're always changing. They are inherently unknowable. Sometimes just observing them can cause changes. So the same input doesn't always equal the same output. And if we are at that point, we also have to say there's no single root cause to failure in complex systems, and if humans are complex systems, in our relationships. Root cause is often a search for closure, not actual learning. Like the root cause to every plane crash is gravity, so we should look for other problems. So when we optimize to avoid failure, we create rigid systems. We kind of kludge around fixes, and we're only really solving what we expect. Like when the microphone goes, oh, it's not, I'll just hold both. So if we do that, eventually we can get catastrophic failure if our technical debt builds up too high. And this debt isn't just a technical problem. Here we go. I'm going to stand here and keep doing it. It applies to our relationships as well. We can have relational debt. Every time we interact, sometimes we both leave enriched, but sometimes there's a failure to communicate, and there's a debt that gets created in this space. So that debt has to be paid. Like, we don't want debt to go into collections. It's a problem. But it's all right. Experience with failure is okay. It's a good thing to find out where the edges of our systems are, and like how far can we go before it breaks? When's a good time to pull back and maybe provide comfort for the system? Or where can we keep pushing and maybe find out how we can grow as people and grow in our relationships? Maybe it's okay to be uncomfortable for a little while, like during an Ignite talk. We all grow as people. So condition 0 for how do we achieve this? You must be in a blameless culture. If you're in an environment where things go wrong and we want to find out what caused it or who caused it, you're going to have a bad time. So ideally, we want to be in a space where we want to learn from those failures, not just point out who to blame. So I work in a team that is spanned from Sydney to the West Coast. Time zones and cultures are very different. We all have an accent. So for instance, when I say, I don't know if that's the best bang for our buck, my Austrian colleagues have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's good to assume good intent. We're all on the same team and working to achieve similar goals. If something went wrong that rubbed us the wrong way, probably it was a communication problem, not malintent. Sometimes asynchronous text communication through Slack is bad. So we have a /zoom command that can instantly stand up face-to-face conversation. We can see what they look like and what our voices are saying, and not read in all our own emotions into the conversation. So that's really important as well. So lessons from networking. Two-way communication is better than shouting into the void. I'm sorry if that ruins the entire Twitter business model, but it's just better. So try, for instance, an example from earlier. Instead of saying, what you're saying is pull are welcome, but what I'm hearing is you don't want to talk to me anymore or don't value my input. So it avoids that talk past each other, acknowledging, no, you're not verbatim saying this thing, but that's what I'm experiencing. Can sometimes lower the volume of conversations. We do still have incidents with people, relationships. So it's good to have a run book or how to deal with that. Nonviolent communication is a troubleshooting process for relationships and conflicts. This has a few different parts. One is observations. This is what actually occurred. Hey, I asked you for help. You said you would give it an hour. It's now the next day and I haven't heard anything from you. Feelings are not heady, they're visceral, so I'm feeling scared that I'm not going to complete the project on time, and I'm angry because I asked you for something I didn't get it. Needs are usually base human needs. What do I actually need out of this? I need the ability to know that when I ask for something, it's going to occur, especially when you've committed to it. And I need sort of that peace that my project is going to work out. And then a request is, again, something achievable. I don't just need you to drop everything every time. That's not really a thing. But can I ask that even if you're not going to make the time frame, you can just update me. Let me know what's going on so I have some stability there. And these can't be demands because that has other power dynamic problems. So this isn't enough to doing this yourself back in your workplace, here are some more resources. And this is why I proposed an open space about it earlier. So let's talk in an open space. Thanks.